Warner Brothers made some waves a little while ago when they announced that they were going to bring a Harry Potter television series that was essentially going to be a reboot of the movies, and that each season would be one of the books, which to some people was actually very exciting because, even the diehard, what do they call them, Potterheads? Even the diehard Potterheads would say, hey, listen, the movies are great, but they missed a lot in the books. Like they had to cut a lot of the stuff in the books out to be able to fit it into one movie. And so there are some people out there who are pretty excited about the idea that they'll stretch it into an entire season, whether that's going to be 7 episodes, 8 episodes, 10 episodes. We'll have to wait and see. But we haven't heard a lot about it since. And there have even been some whispers in corners online saying that they've kind of scrapped the idea. Well, Warner Brothers has put that to rest because not only is it moving full speed ahead, they've got a release window for it in 2026. This comes to us from Variety, who wrote the following. The first installment of the Harry Potter TV series is targeted to hit the Max streaming service in 2026. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav said on the company's Q4 earnings call on Friday. The series is expected to span 7 seasons, adapting each book in JK Rowling's best-selling fantasy book series. So they've just said, oh yeah, you may not have heard anything for a while, but this is still going on, and we've got a timeline, and we know when this thing's coming out. And they're still sticking to the plan of doing 1 season for every 7 books. Now, there is some folly in announcing 7 seasons when you haven't even made the first season yet. We all, of course, remember the nightmare situation that happened with Universal when they announced their sprawling monster universe. We're going to have Javier Bardem and Tom Cruise and Johnny Depp and Russell Crowe. And then we're going to do all these. We got all these movies. Look at all these movies we got coming. And then they put out their first movie and it flopped. I still don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. The Mummy wasn't good, though. And they got humiliated because they're talking about all these films are going to do. As Mike Tyson once famously said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And Universal got punched in the mouth. And then remember the guy who's in charge of the Power Rangers series? When they had the latest one come out a while ago, They said, we got a plan. We have an 8-movie plan.
Woo!
We're going to do, I think it was 8. It might have even been more than it. It might have been like 10 or something like that. We're going to blah, blah, blah.
Trilogies are so passe. You have to have 3 trilogies.
You have 3 trilogies. So they made, the first one, and nobody went to go see it. And that was that. So, I don't mind them saying we got a plan for 7 seasons. We're going to do 1 season per book. That's fine, and just as long as they understand that it may not go that far. The question, though, becomes, Harry Potter has been around for a very long time. And we're not going to go into it here, but obviously there's some controversy surrounding the creator, the writer of the original books, JK Rowling, and all that kind of stuff. And it's an older series now. I mean, these 3 kids, they could have grandkids at this point. Biologically speaking,
They get around.
They get around. I hear that Rupert Gint is pretty prolific. So, I mean, it's been around for a while. So a fair question is there even an audience there that wants to see more Harry Potter? A lot of people have said no. But then something funny happened. And I'm no Potterhead, but HBO Max did that anniversary special.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a big Harry Potter fan. And I nearly wept watching that thing. And the number of people around the world who watched that was crazy. Then they put out this little video game, this Hogwarts video game. And a lot of people said, no one's going to buy it, no one's going to buy it, no one's going to buy it. Smashed all kinds of sales records. Anne loves that game. She hasn't played in a bit, though, but she loves that game. And you know what? It all comes down to quality, I think, here. If they put together something really good, which HBO and Max often do, if they put together something really good, I don't see why this couldn't be a big hit for them. Now, is it going to revive the heyday of the massive global phenomenon of Harry Potter? Maybe not, but I think this could be still a pretty big hit for them. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. On average, it takes about 30 days for a person to break their New Year's resolution. So if saving money was on your 2024 list, your odds aren't looking that great. Luckily, I have a 100% guaranteed way to save you money this year. Just switch to Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for $15 a month. I've told you guys many times that after switching to Mint Mobile, I am spending less than a third on my cell bill than I used to with a major carrier. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All Mint plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And don't worry about having to change phones or numbers. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. So guys, to get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bills to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Anyway, Chris, we hear that they're still barreling towards 2026 to launch the first season of this. Is this the right move? Like a television series as opposed to movies? Is expanding more on the books a good idea? Is the audience even going to be there for it? How do you see this?
I do think the audience will be there. I mean, last year, I think was the 25th anniversary of the third book coming out, which was wildly popular. This is still merchandise-wise a multi-million-dollar industry of creating Harry Potter merchandise. And that reunion really did get a ton of viewers in there. There are definitely people who are still, torn on how to tune into stuff or anything. And you can do whatever you like, but obviously there is an audience for this stuff. I mean, every time I go to Universal, Harry Potter World is still mobbed, even though Nintendo's open.
Ann and I were just there a couple of weeks ago, and I remember saying something similar to Ann, like the Harry Potter World, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios, it's been there for years now, and it is still packed. And the moment you walk into Universal at all, you see tons of people in their Hogwarts robes and stuff like that. It's crazy.
People are buying those wands.
I still love that I can see Hogwarts Castle from like basically my house in Burbank.
Yes.
It's like
right up there.
It's real. That's all real.
It's really
Hogwarts
cool driving. Yeah. When you're doing that 101 meets the 170 and you see the Eye of Mignon.
Yeah.
It's nice to see the castle. It's really, really special. The light show is beautiful. Half the time
awesome.
This is just very telling about my personality and my substance issues. I go to Harry Potter World all the time to have a cider and work.
Nice.
I have a bartender who knows me by name there.
That's so funny.
Shout
They
out
have
Nira.
Wi-Fi there?
They have Wi-Fi there. And so I'll just sometimes go because I like the atmosphere and I like people watching there.
Great
It's
atmosphere.
super, super fun.
You must have a season pass.
I do have a season
Okay, I
pass.
was gonna
That's why,
say,
I'm not.
It's an expensive work day.
No. I'm doing that $115 a year flex pass.
Right.
It is the best. I highly recommend. So there's obviously an audience for Harry Potter in that world because it's a world that we like being in. That being said, things like Fantastic Beasts, we saw the box office decline on those, right? And a part of that, I feel, is because so many people associate the Wizarding World with Harry Potter. Now, what's going to be interesting is seeing if we still associate Harry Potter specifically with our OG trio. If it is Daniel Radcliffe, if it is Emma Watson, if it is Rupert Grint that we really associate those characters with, or if these new kids can win over people, especially with a new audience with books that have been out for almost 3 decades. Yeah. I think there's a lot of potential here. I think HBO, too, has the money to make this be an excellent, excellent show. Quality writers, quality practical effects, all kinds of good things there, special effects. And I think being able to expand on these books is going to be really interesting. There's a whole subsection of the book where Hermione is constantly working to liberate the house elves. And that's the kind of stuff that you can't fit into an 1.5-hour film.
Right.
But it's interesting to put into a series and have that as a B plot line or something like that, right?
I also think Malfoy needs to have a better character arc than what they cut out.
That's true. They
Not
really
to give
whittled
away
him
a
down.
very old franchise, but
Spoilers.
But he definitely has a better character arc there that they don't show. So
for sure.
And
There's
they'll
a
have
reason
a
why
lot
so
more
many
room
people
to
ship
breathe.
them.
Yeah.
They'll have a lot more room to breathe with that with the series.
So I think there's a ton of potential here, and I do think, especially because more people I think are coming out in support of this kind of stuff, is even if you do have a problem with any of the politics around these books or anything, you can love this franchise. You can love it, and that doesn't make you bad or anything. You can just love stuff because it connects with you, because so many people I feel like connected with Harry Potter because you want to be that kid. We love these chosen kid storylines like Percy Jackson, like this, because especially if we're having a hard time when we're younger and we don't feel like we fit in. We hope we get that letter from Hogwarts that lets us know, hey, you're not weird. You're different in a super special way that the universe needs.
So come to Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would never bet against HBO series coming out, especially with a big property like this. I think they're going to do it right. I think this is going to be bigger than what we think it would be.
Yeah.
It
Way
very
bigger.
well could be. You know, two things, though, I want to mention here. You know, you brought up this great thing about the Fantastic Beasts series. I didn't mind there was one of them I really quite liked, and the other two I didn't mind, you know, whatever. But here's the thing to me, and I say this as a non-Potterhead, but when I watched them, they never felt like Harry Potter. Like they just didn't feel like Harry Potter. But when Anne loaded up Hogwarts, the game,
Oh, okay.
and I sat and watched it. What's it called again? Hogwarts Legacy? No.
Hogwarts Legacy.
It is.
Yeah.
When I sat down, you know, ball of popcorn and my own laptop, and as Anne's playing the game and watching her playing the game, it felt like I was in the world of Harry Potter again. I never felt that, even though I liked a couple of the Fantastic Beasts movies. I never felt that with those movies. But in that Hogwarts game, I felt like you're home, like you're back. I want to mention this one other thing. I think the absolute smartest thing they can do, because Chris, you brought up a great point about the new kids they're going to have to get. I think 100% the absolute smartest thing they could do. They don't have to do it, but it'd be a missed opportunity if they don't. Even if it's just symbolically, involve Emma Watson in the search for the new Hermione. Involve Rupert Grint in the search for the new Ron. Involve Daniel Radcliffe in the search for the new Harry. Because if just by doing that, even if it's just symbolic, saying, even if it's when it's like down to the final five, just bring in Daniel to look at the audition tapes. So you can say to the audience, we actually got the original trio in to help us to give input to us about who the next Harry, Hermione, and Ron should be. I think that would go over huge with the fans.
Doctor Who actually always tends to do something like that, where the previous doctor is passing the baton on to the next, and those folks, because there's such a limited amount of people who have played the doctor, it's oh yeah, I got to call David, oh yeah, I got to call Matt, and I got to get their input on things I should know about taking on a role so iconic, and they gave me this advice and they passed this on. And then you hear from the past doctor of, oh yeah, we're so excited because, you know, Jodie's going to be doing this, or Peter's going to be doing this, and they're going to change this up in such a cool way that we're so excited about. And it kind of helps all those fans who cling to somebody move forward.
All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? They're barreling forward into 2026 with expanded stories of Harry Potter, a season per book, and it looks like they've got their timeline. Do you think the audience is going to be there for it? However you guys feel about that, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.